everyone, my name is Lisa and I'm the chef at Revive Wellness and My Viva Plan. And today I wanted to show you a few different ways to prepare ground beef. I chose ground beef because it is a relatively inexpensive ingredient. It's easy to find, you can pretty much buy it anywhere. It's a great source of protein and it's really versatile, so you can do so many different things with it. So some of the recipes I am going to show you may already be familiar to you, and some maybe some new ideas that you have maybe never tried before. So hopefully this video will be helpful to you. Alright, so the next recipe I wanted to show you using ground beef is for a recipe called Zucchini Boats, otherwise known as stuffed zucchini. So I'm going to use some of the bolognese sauce that I already made as the stuffing for these zucchinis. But the first step we need to do is actually take the seeds out of the middle so that you have a bit of a hollowed out center so that you can put the stuffing in there. So you can do it two different ways. You can use kind of like a little cookie scoop, or you can just use a plain old spoon if you want, whatever you have. I actually usually like to use the spoon because it has a little bit pointier of an end. These ones do have a bit of a sharper edge, so you might get a bit, you might be able to dig in a little bit more. So maybe we'll do we'll try both ways and see what we like better here. So you just kind of want to scrape along the inside here a little bit at a time until you kind of get a hollowed out center here. You can also save the seeds and add it into your sauce if you want to, at the same time as the veggies got added. So you can add a little bit more veggies, maybe just coarsely chop that up. So that's nice and hollowed out now. I'll try the other one with a spoon here. So yeah, it's a little bit less sharp, but you can kind of get a narrower channel, I guess, from the spoon. So whatever way you prefer totally works. So that's all hollowed out now. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to put this into a baking dish. So I just have an 8x8 glass baking dish here. I'm going to put them cut sides up. I'm going to do all 4 of these, so we'll just pretend they're hollowed out here. And I'm just going to pour a little bit of water into the pan, just a splash, so let's say up to a 1/4 cup. You don't need a whole lot here. And then I'm going to bake this at 375 for about 10 to 15 minutes, just to start the process of softening these up and getting them nice and tender. If I were to just fill these right now with the filling and throw them in the oven, I'd have to bake them for a pretty decent amount of time for the zucchini to soften up. And then the filling would get dried out a little bit. So we want to kickstart that process, get it kind of cooked a little bit, not all the way. Then we're going to put the stuffing in and just finish it off in the oven one last time. So I will show you what that looks like when they're done baking. My zucchini have come out of the oven and they have just started to become tender, so they're not totally soft at this stage. We still want it to be kind of tender crisp is sort of the final texture we're looking for. So I just got the process started in the oven there, and they're kind of halfway cooked at this point. So now the rest of the recipe is super easy. I'm going to use a little bit of that bolognese sauce that I prepared before, and I'm going to put that in the shells, and then I'm going to top it off with a bit of cheese. So you just scoop a little bit in there, just put it right down the center, and you want to fill it decently full so that it's a good sized portion. You can make this as an appetizer or an entree. If it were an entree, you'd probably want to eat maybe 1 or 2 of these. If you had a bigger zucchini, you might only have 1/2 per person. But these are smaller zucchini, so you could probably do 2 per person as a portion. So stuff it pretty full, and then I'll do the rest and then afterwards. And then you want to do some cheese on top, so I'm using mozzarella here. You can always use Monterey Jack or even a little bit of Parmesan as well. But Parmesan or mozzarella is a great choice because it melts so nicely. So I'm going to fill the rest of these. That's kind of what it looks like. I'll put it up a little closer. And then I'm going to put that in the oven at 375 and just bake it until the filling is heated through and the cheese is melted, which should only take about 10 more minutes at most. And you can also finish it under the broiler if you want as well. And that gives it a little bit of browning on the top, and it gives a little bit of caramelization. So optional, but you can always do that as well, and that should only take another 1 to 2 minutes.